Look, hey yo, I'm wild kid, like a nigga fresh off a wild bid. Fuck your baby mom and throw the condom in your child's crib. I'm a foul spick, always doing foul shit.
Cuban Links, you promise to walk through the door, but you can never come back anymore. Do you promise that will to take the blue pill?
What?
Do you promise to sell your soul?
I can't hear you, my nigga. You gotta talk louder.
So that you can be in full control.
What? Pelican fly signifies I'm one hell of a guy. I'm the one that televised, still telling me lies. Brung flowers for the dead when I said my goodbyes and wrote a letter to the better y'all can never deny. Terrorized with them guys, then I severed the ties. Realized that them niggas wasn't ready to ride. Me, I still abide by the respect and the pride. Reppin' and wise, top 5, dead or alive. I'm a certified gangster, word of my grandpa. The real Scarface that fertilized Frank up. Play with my bank, I'll blow your whole camp up. Bust shots till my fucking hands cramp up. So stand clear and prepare, this a grand premiere. They all imp cause the champ is here. With a brand new swagger for the fans to cheer. Cuban link chain hanging like a chandelier. Still a crook, still off the books this year. I got them shook like they about to get whooped in here. I make it look like a 9-chef cook this year. Blink pun, blink the beat, now they put me here. Go.
Cheers, salute. You already know what it is. Your favorite Puerto Rican GQdaembassy. Of course, alongside my future.
What's up, baby? It's your boy Cuban to the link. What you think?
Yeah, man. 21 gun salute for you. You already know.
Yes, sir.
21 gun. You already know.
21 gun salute.
Yeah.
Ready to shoot.
Welcome. Another edition of Off the Books.
Yeah. Getting mad money with the books this year.
So much to talk about. Right?
Shout out to the beat nuts, man.
Hey.
And you made it coming up.
That's right.
I don't know about that because it makes sense. I'm part of the books.
I mean,
and they tour with them.
They're welcome. They're more than welcome to come.
I'm keeping the brand alive.
I mean, they can get onto the platform and
I need to. Yeah, we need to do that. I need to get less up here. Get Juju. Juju, I ain't hear from it. Man. Definitely. I mean, we have to bless the podcast with their presence. Come on now.
Yeah, of course.
If it wasn't for them, it wouldn't be us.
So what an interesting week, huh?
Oh, it's been an interesting year, but we can go down the line.
Yeah, I mean, since last week, shout out to Granddaddy South, you know what I'm saying?
Granddaddy South, my boy, had a great interview with him.
Yeah, man. So where do you want to begin, bro? Because it's been a crazy week. It's been a hectic week.
It's on you, baby.
Yeah.
For some reason, the stories that I've been saying throughout life, it's coming true now. So I'd rather you ask the questions from outside in.
All right. So I take it you saw the reaction, the Gilly reaction.
Oh yeah, I saw Gilly.
You know what I'm saying?
Saw Gilly under pressure. Really under pressure. That truth, you have people under pressure, and and they act a certain way, their mannerism. Especially guys that don't like talking to the internet so much that they talk, right? They don't like the internet like this. Hey, man, God bless, and doing entertainment things. So they don't like being on camera, talk, and all of that. But you see how the actors too. Gilly's an actor. He's in front of the camera all the time. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely like a SAG, SAG. He's in the union and all of that. So he's a real actor, for real. He's been in movies.
Right, you see, SAG.
Yeah, SAG, yeah. So, it's funny how when it comes to my story, they don't like getting in the camera and explaining that real story, that truth. They probably feel a certain way about it. In my mind, they shouldn't feel no way about it. It should come out freely. The truth comes out freely. But when you try to hide it and all that, you start making excuses and rambling out your mouth and so that's why I know. And now, like I said, it's the truth has to come out because, like I said, people that was behind me and they was part of my circle and they had a position to play, they didn't play it to the fullest. And now we're getting to know why and why it didn't work out with the link. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now you can see it. Now the world can see it anyway, the world. Because I'm tired of fucking even arguing behind the scenes about shit. So now I guess y'all can be the judge. You got to see all these people that was in my circle once.
how they got the nerve to talk about me now. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
Gilly part, he calling me a liar. Like, you for real, Gilly? When did I lie about? What did I lie about? You know what I'm saying? So, um, it's a big disappointment more than anything. This is disappointed.
Right.
I don't regret our time together. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, we're here for a reason, right? I'm telling you, the Cuban Revolution will be televised for a reason. So now
Yeah.
we're gonna we're gonna really televise it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me, on the outside looking in, knowing you guys, to a certain degree, of course. Yeah,
Pearl,
I met Gilly. Yeah, I met Gilly.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think I want to
yeah.
say like two, 3 times with Jay though, through Jay. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Always a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? I could tell. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? He was a real one. Was a
hmm
scholar dude. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he got
And
the style, he got the what I'm saying, the
yeah,
swag, and he's a real one. I thought he was a real one, but my situation is being fake. But
yeah,
according to what how he grew up, his credibility and all that, he's a real one. He's a real one.
yeah. So for me, you know what I'm saying, and then of course knowing you, I got a, my own little. I mean, I don't really know Gilly as much as I knew you. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, you know what I'm saying. For me, it was just like, damn, man, now these niggas is beefing and that shit's whack. You know what I'm saying? It's
Damn for
crazy
what?
how time,
You don't
huh?
need to say damn. You don't need to say damn. I mean, that's been a consecutive thing where
Yeah, but I
where
mean, I'm
dudes
just
just
saying,
turn.
you just hate to see it on my where I'm at. That's all I'm saying.
I love to
Where
see
I'm
it.
at.
I love to see that. I love to see the reality come out, and I want the world to see
Yeah,
that. How the
right,
world feels about those that were rocking with me, on my coattail, and I brought them
right.
along, and out of nowhere, they feel a certain way about Q. Now, and
Yeah,
it's the same kind of narrative that the other guy, the big guy, the fat guy, the beluga,
yeah,
what I'm saying? Joe Petto, he's the one who painted that. So now you can see the trickle it down of some of my dudes saying things like that about me or feel a way about me like that. And that's
yeah.
crazy. That's crazy in
Yeah,
itself.
that's the type of stuff that we all wished didn't happen.
Oh,
You know
he's
what I'm
not
saying?
wishing. Let's stop wishing.
All right.
Guys, there's no more wishes here. It's not our birthday. We're not blowing out candles. Pause. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to, accept reality. You got to accept reality because the Cuban Revolution is about accepting reality. And this is what really is happening in real time. You
Yeah,
can't make excuses for nobody. You gotta let them talk and represent what they represent. And every time they've been put in that situation, in the spotlight to represent, what I'm saying?
yeah.
They always take the
I can,
respect on my name, and that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? When they should put the utmost respect on Cuban Links' name. That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. So that's why I feel, very betrayed with that.
Mm.
Especially those that
Mhm.
were really part of my circle.
Yeah, I feel you, my brother, on that aspect as well. So Fat Joe's mother passed away.
God bless her.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
God
And
bless her. I knew her. I knew her coming up them days, building 11. I mean, 11, I mean, 1,000 in Forest. We used to
yeah,
round up and before a show and all that. I went upstairs with them. I talked to his moms before. She was a very cool person, very inviting, very loving. He used to give me hugs and kisses. His father also passed away, Nexo, and his last name is Delgado, like mine. So it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And he's Cuban. You know what I'm saying? So me and his father
yeah,
hit it off too. So, I never put them in the middle of nothing. You know what I'm saying? As far as like how I feel about their son. So it's a separate thing. I could do that. I could differentiate the two, those two different people, characters, and entities. So, and I
yeah.
always respect, what I'm saying, the elders and all that. I was always that kid that grew up, what I'm saying, the manners with the fathers, the mothers, what I'm saying, the elders. I always respected my elders.
That's definitely how I was raised as well, for sure. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's a lost art or just individual households, in our time, but it just seemed like it was a lot more
Yeah.
often that
But, but,
kids understood.
but that's why we
You know
got
what
to
I'm
be
saying?
leaders now. You know what I'm saying? We at the age where we got to pass that baton down and those kind of, mannerisms. We got to pass it down to the young generation. We got to make it a thing. If they're not doing the same thing and we feel a certain way about it, that's wrong. I'm sure the whole world feels that way, but who's really enforcing those kind of rules and who's leading the youth to make those kind of gestures towards the elder and respecting? And that's when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? So we're in the age where we got to promote that. We got to promote those kind of what I'm saying? Actions.
Yeah.
And another thing about
No.
Joe's mom, you know what I'm saying? Like her father, I mean his father, passed away probably like a few months before, you know, said she did. And though that's the thing about that is that remember they were a couple. That's both of them together was one. So usually like that when you get to that age, I don't think what I'm saying they don't want to live without each other. So that's the love they have.
Right.
That's precious
Right.
also. So it makes sense in that sense when I'm talking about as far as she passing away because her other half, you know what I'm saying, passed away. So
Right.
I understand how sad it is and how beautiful it is also. In a
Mm-hmm.
strange way, it's beautiful, but it's really, really sad. But I think the inner circle understands that. You know what I'm saying? Like Ernesto was part of her life and she was part of his life like that. It was one. So you don't got the other one. You got no reason to live like
Mm-hmm.
this. The love is not there no more for no crazy.
Facts. Rest in peace to her as well. So, you called me up and let me know that there was a lawsuit
Well, did
with
you hear about
TA.
the lawsuit? Did you hear about the Fat Joe
Yeah,
suing
yeah, I heard
TA?
about it.
That's
Absolutely,
what I'm saying.
absolutely.
What do you think about that?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well,
That's why I wanted to
I
go.
think so. So for me, I think that it's. I mean, it looks bad, right? So on paper, it looks pretty bad, looks pretty serious, and it probably is. But I think in the long run or in hindsight, there's a lot of things that we could unpack with this because if you think about the lawsuit, it's going to pretty much have to expose anything that TA has on Fat Joe. So pretty much, it's like, yo, we could bring this person out, and if this person, one or two, however many people are involved, come out and show themselves in court, it's going to be pretty much game over. You know what I'm
But
saying? And it's pretty
did
much
you hear? Did you get to hear? I forgot the lawyer's name. Black something. Black Stone. I don't know. It's
on,
not Black Stone.
yeah, yeah, on
You
Star.
know it? Yeah, on Star. Did you get to hear that?
Yeah, yeah, I heard a lot of that on pretty much what's been on exposed on the internet. I didn't hear the full conversation, but
Well,
it pretty much.
the shoot is about the lawsuit that he's putting towards TA is that he's accused him of like what I'm saying to he accused TA accused him of being which is grooming a
Mhm.
girl that was 16 years old, which he did say in the song. In the song, I don't know understand why Joe would do that. Write a song about a 16 years old that you want to give up. He gave you head. Like I don't know why would he do that at this age too late on in
Right.
life. Maybe when you're young, maybe 19 years old, you coming up. Maybe you just say stupid
Mhm.
shit like But okay, ahora,
Yeah.
después de he's a darn,
Yeah.
he's a darn,
It looks
viejo
even worse
funde.
now.
So he's a
Mhm.
viejo funde to be doing that. He's got a daughter himself. So it's like, and then when I heard TA's story, because he said it to me, he said it to another places, but he told me the story that listen, he was there. Like I said, if he was there and he saw this, it's a whole different
Right.
thing that he's just his opinion or he's assuming. He was there. He was there for a long time, 13, 14 years. He was inside that circle. So
Yeah.
I believe what he's saying. Now, that's what I'm saying. That's the lawsuit that Joe is trying to fight. The fact that he did that. So I don't know. How do you see it? Now, how do you see it? 'Cause I get confused with you.
So in my opinion, I think that obviously Fat Joe is going to have to do something. You know what I'm saying
He
to
doing it.
stop the
He just put the
momentum.
lawsuit. He took the first
Yeah, I'm
initiative.
just saying.
He did the first move. He did the first move.
No, I
Joe
hear
is
you.
suing. That's what I'm saying. So he did the first move. But the problem with that is that gangsters are not supposed to sue. The school we come from. I could have
Yeah,
sued him. I could have sued him. I could have
but
sued
it's pretty.
everybody. And I didn't do it.
Yeah. Well, then
So what's up when he's in a situation?
it's pretty obvious that Fat Joe is no longer what you would consider a street,
But he
gangster,
talks
right?
like he
Now,
been talking like he
but
is.
hold on. But what he really does, what he really says, what he really tries to solidify is not so much like a street gangster, but more like a boss. You know what I'm saying? Controlling street, you know,
What are
situations.
you
You know what
trying
I'm
to give him
saying?
away out of here? What do you? No, no,
No,
no, no, no.
I'm
The
trying
morals
to.
of a
I'm not
gangster
trying to give
stays
him
the
a way
morals.
out.
Yeah, but I'm saying you're trying
I'm
to
just
say that
letting you.
maybe you say maybe he's looking at it as a bigger, like he's a bigger than just a gangster and stuff like that. He's really controlling
Yeah,
shit from up top.
yeah,
Yeah, but you think
yeah.
that's honorable to do but you think that
No,
was an honorable
no,
move?
no. I do not think it's an honorable move, but I think that he's
So that's what
thinking
I'm
of.
saying.
He's trying to be like more like on a corporate level. You know what I'm saying?
But we all
And
know
on
that.
a
You all know that he does that. But he's a
yeah,
gangster doing a supposed to be a gangster thug
yeah,
moving up in a corporate ladder. So now that you trying to say you're supposed to change and turn into them now? But he's out here
yeah,
still talking. He's the gangster of them all. He's the hardest core. He's right for the streets and his community. You know, streets and the community don't do those kind of moves,
yeah,
especially the cloth that he comes from. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? That's the
yeah.
reason I didn't do it. I didn't sue because of that. Because at the end of the day, I know at the end of the day that it's deeper than first of all money with me. You know what I'm saying? It's deeper than that. And we know if we do those kind of moves, it alerts certain kind of up top people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That might go deep into our shit, and then then you want to invite the blue and whites involved in it. So you don't do that, right? So now that's the reason you don't do
Right.
that when it's personal. So now
Yeah.
he's doing that. You know what I'm saying? He's doing
Yeah.
that. And whatever it is, he's trying to be smart and jump in front of the case instead of back of the case because the lawsuit that TA put up, I guess, supposed to have put a lawsuit about him recovering some money from all the work that he did for Joe. Like,
Right. Right. Right.
you
Right.
know what I'm saying? So he,
Yeah.
and yeah, so that's what I'm saying. What
Yeah.
mine was of a pussy punk motherfucker. That's what the mindset.
You already have, which is understandable,
No,
right?
no, I'm coming from the street point of view.
I understand it, but it's still your opinion on, opinion
Oh
of, the
yeah, but
street.
you're talking to me, so my opinion is here. So I'm saying
Right.
how I
Right.
feel. But at the end of the day, we could go to the smart part of it. We could go to the intellectual part of it if you want. I
Yeah.
mean, he wants to jump in front of the case first and then say that. But the problem with that is that he's the one being publicized and he's doing this, right? So you want to jump in that and make it a legal matter, a lawsuit? You're gonna open up that can of worms that you was trying to hide. Is the thing. So you
Exactly.
set yourself up. You
That's
stepped
what
on
I'm
shit.
thinking.
Yeah, and that was a brilliant move by TA and his lawyer. At the end of the day, he fell in the trap. Because now, if they really got the girl, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Really got the girl. That's all it is, and it comes out. Now it turns to a fucking criminal charge. That's the
That's
problem. That's how much shit he stepped on. Elephant shit or dinosaur shit. He stepped on fucking Belugasaurus Rex, fucking pieces of shit. That's what he stepped on. He
he
stepped on his
stepped
own
on
beluga.
something, brother. Yeah,
Yeah.
dead ass. So that's what I'm saying. So with
So
this
he got no wins
court
either
case,
way. He should
it's
have just paid. He should have paid and plus he owes TA. It's not like he doesn't owe money. Like you owe
there you
money,
go.
homie. Just pay. You don't want to pay because that Daffy Duck. Mine, all mine. He don't want to give a cent out.
Right.
He's doing the
Right.
Daffy
Right.
Duck.
And now look what happens. See now
Now he's
look
now
what
he's
happens.
Daffy Fuck. Now he's Daffy Fuck is what he is.
So
And it's crazy. That's what I'm saying.
you think this is gonna drag out? It's gonna turn into something private.
Nigga, this is gonna drag out like fucking the Birdcage, like that movie with Robin Williams with all the transvestites, the drag queens. That's how it's dragging out. A drag queen in a fucking the NASCAR fucking race, the drag cars, like a bunch of drag queens in the NASCAR fucking event. That's how he's doing to drag out. You
That's
know?
crazy. And then I had heard that there's actually there's a recording of Pistol Pete threatening TA. Like, what was that all about?
And the lawyer said that tape is already going to the feds. You
That
see what I'm
shit is
talking about? Now it's gonna get criminal. He's gonna go crazy. This is the biggest novella on television, right? But they're gonna try their best. They're gonna try their best to hide it.
yeah,
Watch the media. You know what I'm saying? Because you can pay a little
yeah,
bit. You know what I'm saying, for people not to talk about it. So I mean, that's what he's been doing all his career. When it comes to like bad news,
yeah.
shit like that. When Liza won the lawsuit, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a big part. Like you remember before the lawsuit, he was talking on every podium he was in, talking about they're
That's
not
true.
gonna win. He got no way to win. When you see the next time you see it, he's gonna be like Fat Joe won the case. That he was so sure because he was stealing. That's what thieves do. And then when they get busted with their hand in the cookie jar, I mean, I didn't see nobody really put. I know I did. I know Penachop
Right.
did. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the rest, for some reason, didn't want to really document that and make it up, put a spotlight on that. And I know why. I
Yeah.
know the PR teams. I know how you know, uh, inner workings work. So that's what they do, you know. And
Right.
yeah, so examples like that. And this one is crazy. This is the legacy he leaves behind. And the reason why I say this is so ironic, because when I was in his in the lawyer's office, and we broke off with the conversation. They said I was black and all this, and I felt
Right.
disappointed. I said, you know what, I'm gonna do bad by myself. We won't, we're taking our own way. I remember that fat beluga telling me, "You could go like you ain't shit. I'm going out like I'm the shit." He said, "I'm gonna be in this business. I'm gonna go out like I'm the shit because I'm the shit," bragging to me, and I'm like watching him. Oh, so you think I ain't shit? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't talking down on me, but he was doing the last words to me. Like, and then he said, "Oh, and you got to give me $300,000 too, because put some marble on my floor. You know what I mean? Because I put you in the game." Like, you know what I'm saying? He was saying it like that, real uppity. And I was, he never said it beef it. Like if that was the case, I would punch him in his face right there. But he said it in like he's bigger than me. You know what I'm saying?
Upset.
And I was just like, all right, cool, my dude. You get that? You get 300. That's all you want. That's what I told him. But it was ironic that he told me he's gonna leave this game. He's the shit. He's the man on top of the game. Like, look what's happening now. You know.
Did
And I
you
think if
did
you,
you did you at one point think that, after, well, for one, I know you must have been in shock, right? Because, even if you knew there was going to be some changes, you didn't think it was going to be for all that. You know what I'm saying? Right?
what you talking about?
So, like
What
when you went to
changed?
the meeting, you didn't already expect to be dropped or whatever, right?
No, no, no. That meeting was to really catch up on what's going on. And I had complaints. I'm like, yo, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? The records between Atlantic and you, like, you ain't giving me what's going on with them. Like, that was my whole thing. But my lawyer, Carlos Pimentel at the time, he was he was representing me. And Joe kept saying like negative stuff about me. So
Right.
Carlos went up and said, listen, man, we could get you for double dipping. I didn't even know what double dipping was at the time. But Carlos stood up because like he knew legally this nigga's jerking us. You know what I'm saying? And we never raised a point about it. So it's like my album was being like delayed and I wanted some answers from
Right.
the boss. I mean the record owner, which is Joe. But he's also my manager. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's double dipping. So
That's only right. Right.
right, right. So that's when he burst out and said, "Oh, you whack anyway." When he got caught busted, when you catch a thief or you doing something illegal,
Uh,
you put your defense up. That's what Joe did. That's why he was like, "Oh, I only did this because punt, because if not, I wouldn't even sign you and all this extra shit." So I was like, "Wow." I was just looking at him like, "Damn, dog." After all of that, after I wrote Senorita, that make you look good to other people. After you got a deal for me, you got money in your pocket. You got the terror squad deal because of me, because you did it at the same time. After all this shit I did, I penned you rhyme too here and there. So all that animosity, I didn't understand it, so I saw it there. That's where that's why I was like more disappointed. I was like, you know what? I can do bad by myself. So we can split ways here. And then he said the other things about, what I'm saying, he's gonna go out like shit. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be that nigga when he get out of this game, with the extra pompous attitude. So that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
It's funny how he's going out right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
Allegedly, he's
with that,
Geppetto. And then I
right.
renamed it too, Geppetto. That's his name, Geppetto. You remember who Geppetto was, right? That's Pinocchio.
Yeah, of course. Pinocchio.
So
Yeah.
that's like the double whammy for him. So he's a
Yeah.
liar, bigger liar. And now he's Geppetto. Get it? So,
Yo, look.
Joe Petto. So
So
that's a beautiful
listen,
name.
during
That
that
took over
meeting
the
again.
Beluga. Geppetto took over the Beluga. I just want
Oh
you to know.
yeah. Okay. Okay. Got you.
Yeah.
So in that meeting when he's telling you this stuff inside though, like someone could be talking to you and you can internally be having a whole conversation with yourself.
I was
What were
disappointed.
your
I was like,
yeah.
damn, dog, that's why my shit ain't working. That's why my album is not coming out. I don't got nobody really representing me the right way. They got the same, when you have a manager, they're supposed to speak on behalf of you to the you're the middleman between the artist and the CEO. You know what I'm saying? That let out the money. And Joe is the
Yeah.
middle guy for me. So
Right.
why have you been telling Craig Common at the time? Craig Common was the president of Atlantic Music. Why?
Hmm.
What? You know what I'm saying? So these middle guys that I picked to represent me. You know what I'm saying? Never
Right.
did their job. You know what I'm saying? Through my whole shit. That's why I get mad at the Gillies of the world and things like that because, I mean, maybe it's my fault. Like I said, they're not even professionals that doing that, but they're doing whatever they do it, but they do it for themselves more than they're doing it for the artists. You know what I'm saying? It comes out like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I could tell by his attitude, the way he spoke, maybe the Connecticut shit when I screamed on him and things like that,
Right.
other things, it leaked out to the professional part, and he was deliberately trying to, mess up my thing because just the way,
Did you at some point maybe like self reflect and maybe say like, damn, maybe there was something that I might have did, I could have done differently, or
yeah, and
you
I
know?
put him to be my manager. Yeah, you know, I could have definitely did that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if we do different people, we're gonna clash and everything. But when it comes to business, recognize my achievements and things I've done for the crew.
Right.
And I took them, and I know you jerked the money part. I know you tried, saying you was doing the funny shit with the money, and I still let you go. Like, saying my loyalty was there, not because of, saying uh, I was it was any fear of me confronting you because I did. I confronted
Right.
you mad times, and I let you know. Listen, maybe I shouldn't have did that because I bust this fucking bubble a lot of times. Be like, yo, how you
Right.
gonna do that? How you gonna do that? Like, I try to let them know that I knew that you're doing this. So please stop doing that. Be my friend. Like, yo, my dude, what's going on? I appoint you to be my manager, my point guard, to speak for me, give me deals, and you're gonna get your 20%. And you get
Right.
20% of everything I'm doing. So what's the problem? You work for me. I never treated him like that. We bumped heads on some regular street shit and whatever thoughts we had that was different. But when it came to business, I thought you had my back because you want to make money. I'm making you money.
Right.
I'm still, I'm on the, I'm on the road doing. I did like 80 shows without an album out. He got 20% of 80 shows at 10,000 a pop. He got like 200,000 from me. You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
made like $200,000 off the street just for me without an album. So I'm making you money.
Off
I'm
rip.
making you
Yeah.
money. So I'm supposed to be the number one kind of start student. You know what I'm saying? After pun,
Yeah.
I'm supposed
Right.
to be the one that's next up that pays his dues. Like I
Right.
pay
Right.
my
Right.
dues. So
You the bag.
when I
Bag.
heard those thoughts of how he felt about me, regardless if he took it and he wanted to defend himself or whatever, because my lawyer told him that he was double dipping and that's legal. That's illegal
Right.
already. And he
Of
went to
course.
defense mode, but he's the one who said all these things in front of the lawyer and everything. So I was like, that's my shit not working. That's what my album was not never gonna come out fucking with this nigga in my head.
Yeah.
So this nigga felt like that word. So that hesitation there is exactly when they give me that energy and they show me that like that, that's the same energy you probably representing me to Craig Common like with that same energy. And that's not the right energy to represent any artist. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Because then you doing that personal, the way you feel about me and all this shit. It's like my nigga already worked my way up. I did off the books. I did the Terror Squad album. I did, what I'm saying, Pun's album. I did your album. And every one of those albums, Cuban Link was one of the stars that was up there that people wanted to see. So in the business model, business sense, Cuban Link is definitely a short shot to get some money with. And I already gave you history that I made you 200,000 on the streets alone with just show money that I'm putting that money in your pocket. You already know this concrete evidence that we got the
Right.
momentum. We got the
Yes.
momentum, and Q is a good, brand to put your money on, and that's what exactly you're doing. So that personal shit with him, boy, I never knew that he, that he thought of me like that.
Yeah.
So where he was representing me like that, because it's like, yo, we can have arguments as homeboys and different things, but now I see how deliberately. Because if I would have knew that before that day, it would have been like, yo, my dude, before we go to anything else,
Right.
let's not even represent me. You know what I'm saying? You know
Right.
what I'm saying? We'll work out something where you still eat and whatever, but you know what I'm saying? If I would have felt that, but I never did. You know what I'm saying? Until that day was more, what I'm saying, straight up out of his mouth. That's why.
What was your intention as far as like after? I'm sure immediately after you were trying to think of a game plan. What was your game plan? After that meeting when you
I
knew it
was
was
I was
set.
lost a little bit. I was lost. I was lost. I started thinking about, you know, damn, this is not just a relationship of business and that. We from the same block. You know what I'm saying? We rock with the same crew. These are friends of mine that I rock off the business grid. I go to the block and I chill with these brothers. You know what I'm saying? They like,
Mhm.
so it saddened me. He saddened me that he felt that way, that it was going that way, and I was like, you know what I'm saying? That's when the Jimmy shit came later. But during that time, that week, 2 weeks right there, that span, I was like, damn. I wasn't even making no moves to get another deal or nothing yet, but I knew other labels definitely wanted Cuban Link, you know? But I was definitely like, it was more, he made it personal, so I took it personal, like, God damn, this motherfucker, I was more caught up with that. Almost like I wasted my time with this dude. I should have known better. You know what I'm saying? That thing in Connecticut. First time I seen him, with Pun, and he started making he fucking put me in a negative light to everybody, like I'm a peasant or something. All those things started coming to my head, like, damn, man, I should have, you know what I'm saying? Not regrets, but like regret. You know what I'm saying? Can't regret it all the way, 'cause sometimes we get put in situations where we gotta do what we gotta do to open up, doors of the future. And if it wasn't for Joe at the end of the day, I wouldn't have got, y'all wouldn't have probably seen Cuban Link. So it's regrets like, yo, this is just what I had to do when I was inside that snake pit. You know what I'm saying? With the king cobra,
Yeah.
beluga, walrus,
I mean,
albino
yeah,
walrus.
from the
You
outside
know?
looking in, you know what I'm saying? It looked so beautiful, like, just watching something that was gonna
Oh
be
yeah, yeah.
legendary form, and then when it came crashing down,
When it
and
all
for me,
comes down.
you know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
let me use the bathroom. Let me
It
use the bathroom, right? Let me use the bathroom.
I know that.
And I started. You probably still hear me.
Yup.
This
Cause
is
you're
one
gonna
of
start
them.
shitting. I can hear you farting. Yo, this is disgusting.
Stop listening to my shit, you little fucking freak boy. You fucking pink freak boy.
You
This
got
is
the
that
mic.
Trump moment. This is the Trump moment where he went to the bathroom and said, I grab him by the pussy.
Yeah, for real. Fucking dick. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So
That's fun.
where was that? Oh, and at the end of the day,
Uh,
you got to know that at the end of the day, let me add on this little trick shit because that's what he was a master of doing the trick shit was about. You
right.
know what I'm saying? He will bring his producers and everybody and then, he'll charge them a fee. So at the end of the day, they'll up the fee. Like if you know what I'm saying, if somebody comes with a beat, they'll be like, oh, give me back 4,000, but we'll make it look like, to the labels that, we charge 10,000, which is,
Right.
a hood trick, whatever. But this is what he was doing. The importance of this is that that's what he was doing with our deals. He'll run the budget through to all the artists. That's why you didn't see Tony Sunshine come out with an album. Armageddon, Prospect, Sace, myself, because he was running through the budgets doing these kind of tricks so he could feed his fucking fat ass. You know what I'm saying? And eating off us and then making it look like we lazy. Like, oh, that we lazy. That's why they ain't come out making excuses. Well, he's robbing
Right. Right.
the CEOs of the labels. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's
Right.
important. You know what I'm saying? So,
Now was Joe the only person doing this type of thing? In
nah,
your
I'm sure
opinion?
it's that. No, I try to do it a couple of times. I ain't gonna lie, I learned from Joe. But at the end of the day, it's like a Ponzi scheme. It's like a Ponzi scheme, though. You messing up my shit. Like when you messing up my album.
Yeah.
So if I started doing it a little bit because it's like, all right, that's quick money in the pocket. But at the end of the day, you robbing yourself, and he's robbing
Right.
us. If I started doing it, I'm really robbing myself. I'm thinking like, word, you robbing yourself. But funny, like none of us could go into a Joe album and rob them. So what the fuck you doing? You Ponzi scheme. That's what he tries to do all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's foul.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's foul. That's why people's albums never came out. Other artists in Terror Squad.
Yeah.
And he
Wow.
robbed money straight from the top. That $500,000 we're supposed to each get from the Terror Squad deal, he never gave us that. I already broke that down. He gave all the artists from Terror Squad $55, kept $10 million. So he's disgusting like that.
Why do you think that everyone's left you out to dry and has not said the same
Because they
thing?
fell in line. They fell in line. That goes to Joe, and what Joe did. He fed the thugs more than he fed the artists. So the thugs could keep the artists in check. But I was never part of just the artists. I was part of the thug niggas too. You know what I'm saying? Like me and Pun was part of the thug niggas too. That they gotta respect and they know that if something's wrong, we're gonna address it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that goes individually with other artists. You know what I'm saying? He got away with the prospects of the world. He got away with the Tony Sunshine, the Armageddons. They had that type of fear and non really combative or confronting element inside them. You know what I'm saying? Face,
Right.
Pun, or me. Even Pun. Pun took a lot too. Pun took a lot in the beginning because he realized that at the end of the day, he wanted us to come behind him and he wanted us to get deals. So he took a lot of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Until he proved himself. So Pun proved himself and went platinum. That's when he renegotiated. You know what I'm saying? And Joe was mad at that time. But yeah, he knew that shit that, he already went through things with me that we clashed heads and bumped heads and he knew I wasn't gonna have it. So it was a different type of respect for me when it came to that, but he still put his hand in the company job. He still did it. He didn't let me like it wasn't visible for a minute with me. It was like, nah, he already know me. Like we good. Like we gonna make money. I'm gonna make money for him, he make money for me. That's the relationship. If you want to manage somebody, you speak of your product like you want to promote it and get it out there. The more money I get, the more money you get. That's supposed to
Right.
be a great relationship like that. And you got five
Right.
artists. Like we gave him five
Right.
artists. At the end of the day, me and Triple J is supposed to be under Puns. That was the deal in the beginning when he put Pun on. You know what I'm saying? You could hear him say it in the Pun documentary. He said the deal was if when Pun get on, he could put his crew on, which is me and Chase. I was out there off the books. I was out there with the Veronica record. Pun was putting me toe to toe. Like Pun was really my manager at the time doing that. So when I got
Right.
my
Right.
name and it was hot, that's when he came back with the puppy face. Yo, Q, man, let me shop the deal for you. And I asked Pun first that he said, yeah, go with him. I think just what he did for me, he's gonna do for you. Like he knows the
He's gonna
connections.
take care of you.
You know what I'm saying? But I had permission from Pun first, and then Pun said, yeah, go with Joe. You know what I'm saying? And then me and Joe started hanging out, and we was the coolest of fucking
Right.
friends. So yeah.
I
So
remember those days. I remember those days when I would see it, like you guys were like
I mean, I
mad
had to make him
cool
a
and mad.
believer. I had to make him a believer though, in a business sense, for him to, soften up and really respect me in that way,
Yeah.
in a business sense. You know what I'm saying? So,
But still, nonetheless, that's still you paying dues. So I
of
again on
course,
the
I pay
outside
dues.
looking
That's why I
in,
feel good.
as an artist myself, I understand. Me personally, I don't care about the people, but me, I understood. I said, he's paying dues. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Of course. You know what I'm
Yeah, and
saying?
I believe in paying dues, but I just paid. Oh, I overpaid my dues. You know what I'm saying? You see
But I
what I
think,
did? That's when you read the I overpaid my dues. I put the talent down, whatever he needed me to. I made him look good. 50 states, everything. I went through all the shit, doing free shit for him. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't in his pockets, counting his money and other. You know what I'm saying? Just when he did the extra greedy, he just got extra greedy. The beluga couldn't stay like a regular size. The beluga had to wanted to be Moby Dick. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to be the sperm whale after he became the beluga. So it's like, yo, my dude, you know what I'm saying? What are you thinking? And then you got to check those kind of moves because then that dude might be like, oh, these niggas is hard. They suckers. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting this, you know what I'm saying? I'm the man. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas getting like, you know what I'm saying? Extorted. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could be talking like that to his friends when it's not even like that. It's like, it's really like, yo, we trust you, my brother. And I know you're not going to fuck that up. And you earned it. You earned it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
We happy for
yeah,
you. We happy for you. You earned it. Man, take some of the top. You know, so if you want to. You
right,
earned it. You got us the deal. Take some. But guess because we did that out of love, it was
yep,
sort
right.
some other way. And he was paying like he gave
Was it,
he gave Raul, he gave Flex like $30,000 to $50,000. You know what I'm saying for that Terror Squad deal, he blessed them. So now you got soldiers for life, like them niggas extra. You know what I'm saying?
right?
And on that note, and their job was like to overlook the artists. You know what I mean? Overlook the artists. Even Gilly was part of that, but Gilly didn't get paid that much. Gilly, yeah. Yeah, so that's what he did. So he kept the thug ones were happy, and think that's probably what he doing with Pistol Pete and all them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like he keep those
Yeah,
guys happy and all of that. Like that, that's the artist. But the artist underneath, they're getting squeezed, and it's really that the money of the artist that he's paying these other guys with. So it's like what I'm saying,
right.
he's paying these guys to really really extort the artist in other ways.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he could
So
never extort me.
let me let me ask you. So I'm just getting into the whole thing where you're finding out all this betrayal, what I'm saying, with Joe. And because there comes a time in someone's in their life where it all falls apart and they got to figure the shit out and they're trying to figure it out by tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
That shit
for
happened
me,
25
like I
years
said,
ago.
that's what I'm saying. So I'm just trying to. This is also inspirational to somebody else that might be going through some shit. They're trying to figure it out. But the point is, you know what I'm saying, at that moment, you know, it all comes crumbling down, and now you're trying to figure it out. Are you thinking, okay, I'm gonna get it, I'll just reshot my shit, but nowhere in your mind thinking, okay, Fat Joe's gonna blackball me?
No, I just thought that the buzz, the name, uh, the work I put into the game, yeah, like the what I work for. As far as at that time, the name Cuban Link was a brand. It was already coming up. A lot of labels was open, and they was kind of jealous of Joe having
Mhm.
signed. I mean, I remember Puffy, you know, what I'm saying Wolf, my man Wolf. He told Joe in front
Mhm.
of me. He was like, "Oh, you lucky, you got this dude." Like, you know, what I'm saying he told Puffy like that. So I mean, he told Joe this in front of me, and I was like this. It was because he invited me to the studio and
Right.
everything. He was like, "Nah, Q's with us." Like, you know what I'm saying? Joe was telling him that he's already spoken for. Like, you know, I already got his deal. So what was like, you
Yeah.
lucky, you lucky. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I was looking at like from the side. I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Because you know, that recognition from other people made me put me on to game of how much they appreciated it, and in the business sense, how hard I was at the time. But Joe always made it a thing to keep me down, to that let me see that. I guess for me
Yeah.
not to get gassed, but I'm not a type of person like that. I'm part of the team, so it's a dope thing to have that type of, you know what I'm saying, enthusiasm going in. You know what I'm saying? So I know
Right.
he's gonna
Right.
work. Joe's gonna work and shop my deal for a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? And I thought at the same time, a $50,000 deal in advance was a lot of money because Joe, upon got 30, he had to split 60 with Joe, so it's 30 and 30. You know, they did 50-50. But me,
Right.
I was giving Pun 20% anyway. You know what I'm saying? To 25%. So,
Wow.
you know, me getting 50 was great for me. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
I'm coming up, and we letting Joe guide us through that. That was no money. That was no money. At that time, dudes was getting like $500,000 advances.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we
Right.
didn't complain. We didn't complain. We just kept putting the talent out. So I worked my way through that to be, you know, for my brand to be really respected and wanted. You know what I'm saying? I thought Joe was doing the same thing for it, but he had other plans.
Right.
But
What are we doing to prepare for this fight with Hocus? Because I know there's
uh,
people that are wondering if you're even training or if you
no,
just
I mean, I ain't
thinking
start
like,
training. I ain't start training
yeah,
yet, but you know, I'm getting physically fit. First of
yeah,
all, you gotta take everything step by step. And I was already doing that. You caught me with this podcast when I was, you know, what I'm saying, uh, you know, this kind of energy burst. At the end of
right,
the day, you know, it's very spiritual with me. Everything I do is very spiritual. You know, at the end of the day. So I asked God to help me because I knew, like, for some reason, I got like a vision of what I needed to do and how I needed to really come back out because I'm working on a lot of things, especially music,
mhm,
you know. And you know, you get lost. I got lost for a little bit, like we all do. And it's like, you know, you can't just do one thing at a time. You have to have the spiritual, you have to have the mental, you have to have the physical, right?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And anything, you know what I'm saying? To make it, to give that 100% that you need to give, especially in my situation, going against all the odds and explain my story and show the world, you know, the talent. It's not just about no Fat Joe story all day, but it is. It always turns out that way, but it's really the talent of the pen and the pad. It's the musical talent, you know, that I really want y'all to focus on. And in my situation, it starts like this, when I got to show y'all, you know, the Cuban Link Revolution and get your attention. You know what I'm saying? Shout
right,
out to Panda Chop. You know, he said when we booted with everything and told the story again, we got a lot of traction, you know, through those interviews. And I got to say my truth, which the people didn't really know. Before it was like one interview here, there, and it's time. It was just time with certain pieces that people got. They didn't get the whole focus on Cuban Link like we did with Panda Chop. You know what I'm saying? And what we're
right,
doing now. Because, you know, you got to get to, I know Joe already put his version out there. And he dominated when it came to the powerful people in music that gave him the platforms to do it and tell a story and make them look a certain
right,
way. Me, I had to work with nothing, really. You know what I'm saying? With the people, back to the people. You know what I'm saying? So,
mhm,
you know, now, like I said, man, you know what I'm saying, this time around, I asked God one more time, uh, really to prepare me, you know what I'm saying, give me the strength and, you know, said my prayer. And he definitely listened. He definitely listened and he definitely showing me because like I said, this burst of energy, you know, taking something bad and turn it good and using the energy to really take care of what you need to take care of, which is the body, the mind, and the soul.
Right.
You know
So
what I'm saying? And the temple. The temple is very important. So I was already on that. And me, just me being out there and saying my story with Panda, telling what's going on now, how I'm feeling right now, and me bringing some names up in the past, and then Panda also interviewing some of the cast of my past.
right.
I heard him say, you know what I'm saying? I heard those certain people feel a certain way and talk a certain way about me. So, you know, I rebutted, of course, because I think they didn't even know how I felt. You know what I'm saying? And they told a story that it's not true. So now I'm trying to bring the whole truth to it. That's why the Cuban Revolution will be televised. I'm gonna let the
Right.
audience, which is the public, really understand what's going on. And they're having a problem with that, right? And they never had a problem before because they know that's my story. I was stuck to the same story. But now the difference is that Fat Joe is behind these guys. And you could tell the public and the people could see. The only
Mhm.
difference back in the days, I'm from back in the days and now, is that it's funny how the Fat Joe guy recruited all the people that was around me
Right.
and whatever. They on that side. You could tell the whole list. Throughout the years, he recruited all the people that was around me to make me, and usually those same people, they're talking bad in a certain negative way about me, to discredit me from my truth. So that's the problem I have, right? And that's what's left for the backfield. Now we in front. We're gonna put everybody on a hot seat, and I want to hear this. And that's where you hear the Gillies come out now, because I feel a certain way, whatever. You hear the Hocuses, the My Songs, you hear the, you know, saying everybody, the Drench Stars, the Tony Baloney's, you
Mhm.
hear, you know, the Corleones, you hear all these guys that was around me, and I helped out in many ways that they're not even being vocal about it now. They want to shit on me. You know what I'm saying? The guy that was really, you know, did great things for y'all. Y'all want to focus on the fact that I am still stuck on Joe instead of saying, what did Cuban do for me personally?
Mhm.
Talk about that so the people can hear you, how honorable I kept it with you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the problem I got with these dudes. And it's similar, the common denominator is that Joe is behind this. You can see him texting, you know, on social media
Right.
behind
Right.
Hocus. You can see him, you know what I'm saying? Taking pictures with the Dread Stars and with the Tony Sunshines on live, doing things. All these people that should have great stories to tell about Cuban, they tell them negative things. And they want to be, it's like Joe's minions. He's pushing in front so he doesn't have to face me. So he can have other people fighting his battle for him. So Hocus want to jump out there and play, you know, we want to do double dutch with me. So we're going to do some double dutch. You know what I'm saying? We're going to definitely do some double dutch. As personal as not, you know, how I feel about Joe with him. It's just, I think, you know, as a young, and I can't even say young, he's old already. Yeah, I'm old already
Right.
too. So it's like I look at it like, okay, so I think somebody gave him information about me, and he's
Right.
around my enemies, he's around people that don't like Cuban. So he's getting that type of narrative from that circle. So now I'm just, you know, I gotta I gotta show him that he's in the wrong circle. That's a big brother
Right.
show. But
Well, here.
let him. I have to learn him a lesson of why he was rolling with me back in the days. I have to give him a flashback from the past to let him know what a privilege it was and an honor to roll with a nigga like me. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I got to do that inside the ring. And that's the energy I'm coming with. You know what I'm saying? But it's no personal shit where I hate Hocus or I feel so, oh, he's a traitor. No. You know, they're artists. I understand that. But just when you get
Yeah.
to a pedestal where you're going to be heard and asked about Cuban, you should say better things about Cuban. Like, yeah, that's how I feel. You know what I'm saying?
Where do you think
You should
Where do you
and
think
you
he's
should mind
coming
your
from?
business. He should really mind his business when it comes to me and Joe. Really, mind your business. But you know, he came in the game. This is Joe with me, I guess. So he feels responsible to say something now and go against me because of that. Maybe, but I think he should mind his business. But he didn't want to mind his business, so that's the reason why we're in this situation where
Mhm.
you know we're gonna scrap it off. This is for a good cause. This is for the audience. This is for the Cuban Revolution to be
Right.
televised. So it fits perfect with what I was doing, my whole energy. And like I said, I didn't propose this. He did. He did. So we're gonna
That's
oblige
good.
by it, and we're gonna show who we are.
Yeah. Where do you think he's coming from with it? Like how you saying
Uh,
that, at the end of the day, you're not mad or whatever. Where do you think he's coming from with it though, on his side? You think he's more mad than maybe you
I
are?
think he's jumping on bandwagon. I think he's jumping on the bandwagon. Everybody did. Just like Coleon did, Dren did, Tony's did. It's been repetitive. Everybody that, you know what I'm saying, usually goes on that side, It's just a fucking repetitive thing. They don't got nothing nice shit to say about me. They want to stick up for Joe, or they can't tell me I'm stuck in the past. These are the same kind of, in the world been seeing this shit already. Like, who y'all think y'all was fooling? And if y'all right, y'all forgot what I'm fighting for. Maybe they don't care that I'm fighting for Pun's honor. Maybe they don't care, what I'm saying, that I'm saying all these things about Joe because he disrespected my brother's legacy and disrespected his family in real life. And I'm standing up with that family. Maybe they forgot that I'm fighting for more than just myself. He blocked me in the game and I'm still trying to do my thing as an artist and he's been blocking me behind the scenes. Maybe they forgot about that about Cuba. So it's a beautiful time to remind them. You know what I'm saying? I'm just reminding them.
Yeah. Wow.
That's
Well,
all.
maybe there is a lot to take out in this fight, in this match. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. And like I say, like I said, even Hogan said that, he wants me to picture Joe's face. And you know
Right.
what I'm saying? Act like I'm fighting Joe in that ring. So,
Yeah.
I'm a Bobby Boucher him. I'm a Bobby
Okay.
Boucher him. I'm a put, I'm gonna put Hogan's his body, what I'm saying? The little,
Right.
the plane boss, the little midget. And I'm gonna put a fucking giant face on him that look, the Fat Joe face on him. It's gonna look crazy in my mind, but that'll be the energy that I'm a Bobby Boucher him from the guy from the Water Boy. Adam
Yeah.
Sandler. I have to picture.
Yeah.
So Hogan's gonna make me Bobby Boucher, and he gave me the idea.
Yeah.
So I did. I salute him. I salute him because he gave me that was the kicker. That was the energy burst. I was like, what? Yeah. So Hogan's told me to picture Joe's face and his body, which
Yeah.
is crazy. Is a crazy vision because the head of Joe's doesn't even fit in Hogan's body.
Yeah.
So that's gonna
That's
look
a crazy.
crazy, and that's what I'm gonna do. That's the incentive that took me over the hill. And I said, you know what? Let's do this, Hope. You know what I'm saying? You challenged me, and all challenges are to be met. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's the energy I'm going with it. The Hocus fight plus is it's really gonna be on.
Mm-hmm.
The celebrity boxing guys, the company is really working hard behind the scenes, trying to get it locked down. Uh, we're trying to make it happen. They are. I consent already to all of that. I think Hope did the same. Crazy Legs, I think he's gonna be part of that with Lord Jamal. They're gonna box it out too. Get the differences
Oh,
out.
really?
So it's about getting our differences out for the fans. So at the end of the day, it's a great thing. It's for the kids. Guns up.
Yeah.
Gloves up, guns down. So
Are
it's a
all
lot
the
of positive
contracts
things.
signed? Are all the contracts signed?
Uh, well, we're signed for them to go pitch it and come back with the figures that we're supposed to get,
Oh, okay.
especially what I asked for. So, them figures are,
Yeah.
I think they got enough firepower in there to go get the figures. You know what I'm saying? What I asked
Yeah.
for. So I don't want to just make it about that, but that's what it is. It's probably, it's a bag
Yeah.
attached to it. There's some honor attached to it. It's some, the real story instead of the fake lies and, behind the scene actions that need to be rectified. So it's a lot of things I'm fighting for. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things that they forgot. You know what I'm saying? That MC's supposed to stand up for and a real nigga is supposed to stand up for. So, it's
Right.
a lot of things going behind the scenes as far as the energy that's going into this fight. But at the end of the day, it's peaceful. It's peaceful, it's respected unless they disrespect. Uh,
Right.
and, you know what I'm saying? It's a good course. It's a good course. It's a great thing for the Bronx. It's going to happen in the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? The Rumble in the Bronx. So I'm with all of that. That's the perfect stage.
Do you expect anything to change after that?
Yeah, because as far as like the message that I'm portraying out there is definitely going to be heard and understood and digested by the majority of people. They know that's what I'm fighting for. That's the
Mm-hmm.
that's the part that they differ from me, like the Hocus of the world, the other guys that don't back me up like they used to. That's that's what I'm fighting for to really get that out there so that people can understand this type of energy, and we're gonna put it against the energies of the click hoppers, the ones what I'm saying, the switch siders, the ones that
Right.
started believing Joe was right. We're gonna see the energy of those two collide, and it's really that. It's really to have them bragging rights, to be like, yo, see, little bro, you was wrong, and now you got a chance,
Okay.
saying, to understand my part. You see the strength I come with, with truth, and you see the truth that you come with, and you know what I'm saying, and there's always gonna be respect at the end of the day, where my mind always go back to that young brother, what I'm saying, whose hope is fulfilled as far as my heart and my love for him, and the whole thing, man. But so it's more like a learning, like a, you know what I'm saying? OG learning a lesson to his young buddy. You know, so that's how I'm taking it.
Right.
But it definitely transcends more. It's a message. You know what I'm saying? It's the reasons that all odds is against me. All the people that I helped, or we had a partnership back in the days with each other that for some reason is on the other side, clapping on that dude over there. It's definitely that. You know, so there's a lot of fans that don't be like this. Good for you. You know, if on both sides, like, you know what I'm saying, whatever happens. It's a good fight. You know what I'm saying? We street brawlers. I come from that. So
Yeah.
50 years old, but we're gonna show what a 50-year-old could do.
Yeah. So what do you think he's really fighting for?
Well, he said what he's fighting for. He's fighting for the honor of Fat Joe. He's sick or tired of me talking about Fat Joe. Me being stuck at the same time, me being an alcoholic, me being a hypocrite when it comes to religion. He's saying what he's saying. So it's like, those are all things that are really, really like bad. And as far as the furthest thing that I'm about. So whoever's giving the information, whoever, you know what I'm saying, whoever made them believe that about Cuban, that's really disappointing. That's a real individual to look at that and hear the way he talks about it. You know, it just makes me disappointed. So I'm wanting to change
Yeah.
that mindset.
Yeah. I think my
Oh yeah,
question for real is like, do you think there's something deeper than what he's conveying, or just
I don't know.
you know what I'm
Maybe it's
saying?
for clout. Maybe it's for clout. Maybe it's for a bag. Maybe it's for he wants to look like a peon to Joe. So he'd be like, "Yeah, Joe, I got your back. You see what happened?" Like he's expecting that for Joe to give him a deal to open up roads for him to be out in the limelight like Joe is. Maybe it's that. You know, I don't know.
Yeah. Wow. You
But
expecting to see
he definitely
anybody?
wants to. He definitely Joe. You know, Joe Team Joe though. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. Right.
you know,
Are you expecting to see anyone in particular show up to watch you fight?
I want everybody to show up. I want all my haters to show up. All my enemies to show up. I want to look them in the eye. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to look them in the eye and them look me in my eye, you know? And I'm coming in the dolo with the energy of God, with me, you know, uh, in the lion's den. That's how I picture it. You know, Cuban in the lion's den. Yeah. You see how I tame, you gonna see how I tame them cats, all of them. They're gonna be doing tricks after I'm done. Just like they was doing
Right.
for Daddy. So, you know, another bite. See, I always bring the biblical part to it. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause it matches everything that's happening in the real world today
Right.
too. So I'm just letting you know. And I don't even read the Bible like that, my brother. I never read the whole Bible ever. Not even
Yeah.
half of the Bible I read. It's just something that I feel. You know, I
Wow.
remember those stories
Yeah.
as a kid growing up, and it's just they pertain to me for some reason. And I'm just going with the
That's
energy.
divine,
And, you know,
brother. That's divine.
I,
That's
I
divine.
know God got my back 100%. You know, so that's all. And He
Yeah.
knows I'm fighting for the righteous cause. You know,
What if the inevitable happens?
what are you talking about? Inevitable? What's inevitable?
So what
I
happens if
die?
you
They
don't
shoot
win?
me while I'm fucking beating up
What if
jokers?
you
What? What the fuck are
Yo,
you talking about right
what if
now?
you
The
don't win?
inevitable. I'm always gonna
The
win.
inevitable.
If I don't win, I win in God's eyes. I win because I'm in the right path. I win because
Right.
you know, I stood up and I showed up. You know, and I did my best regardless. The kids is gonna have a great experience. The fans are gonna have a great experience. You're gonna have a boxing match. You know, I respect boxing. So at the end of the day, if I don't win, I still win. I still win. And I bet you that at the end of the day, that guy I'm fighting, Hope is gonna look at me and be like, "Yo, Q, real shit. You
Right.
hurt me, man. You hurt me. Even though you're gonna knock me out, but you could win by points, or whatever you do. But we gonna have a fight. I'm gonna make you respect me. I'm gonna make you understand why Cuban ain't an alcoholic. You know, so why Cuban ain't stuck in the past and the day, and he's just caught in that moment. He's a loser, like the way you're portraying him. I'm a liar. No, you're gonna understand. Once I get those values back into him,
Yeah.
and we can respect each other that way, because I never talk about him like that, but he's talking about that. So
Right.
now that's that personal part. You know, that's what I'm there to change. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm there to change,
Yeah.
and that's how it should be done. You know what I'm saying? You man up, one on one, and we get busy. You know.
Is there a part of you that's hoping that once this is over, you guys can at least be on good terms and maybe build?
I have nothing that's negative except what, you know, how Hulk is depicting the past, my character, uh,
Right.
demeaning everything I've done, diminishing and not putting that respect on my name. That's the only thing that I feel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's an OG already that, I got nothing but love for him. Come on. He knows me. He knows I got nothing but love for him. You know what I'm saying? And I still feel the same way about him. Even after he gets his ass busted. I still would. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that
Yeah.
personal, like I said. That's not that personal with hope. It's personal.
Do you
Like
feel
other
like
guys,
he
with
has
other
that
guys, it's
love?
really personal.
Yeah. Do you feel like he has that love for you as well?
I don't care if he has that love. I'm gonna make him love me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make him love me at the end of the day. So it's not like I'm gonna make him hate me. I'll make him love me.
Right.
He's gonna be proud that OG Cuban, step in that ring and move and did everything the way he's supposed to. Like he talking like he walks. He's gonna be proud of that, and I'm gonna be proud of him. He's just fighting for the wrong cause. That's something.
Copy that. All right. Well, I see that you posted that you remixed the joint you got with TA. So
Oh yeah, you see
that's
now?
starting to
That's
get better. Yeah.
Cocoloso. I
Sound
mean Cocoloso.
yeah.
Cocotazo. That's Cocotazo. That's my man Cocotazo. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Sounds
feeling
good.
it? You feeling the energy?
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I
Okay,
like
good.
that. I like that. Yeah.
Good. It's not really
So
fully mixed and everything. When you hear the lyrics on top of that beat, they gotta mesh in a little
right.
more. But I give you a sneak preview just to let you know your boy Cuban's working.
Yeah.
And,
Are you
so
putting
that's what we got
Lord
on.
verse on there?
Look, yeah, because I can't stay fucking even mad at Lord. After I had that interview,
Yeah.
yes, when I went to his platform, we talked
Yeah.
about it. We hashed it out, you know what I'm saying, in front of the world. Uh, I understood it. Like I understood it. I take his excuses for real. I don't think he did it, with any other intent that it was bad situations that was happening to him. And it happens.
Right.
So with that being said, even though the song with Coco Tasso, me and my man Coco Tasso, that inspired me because Lord Jamal fucking you know what I'm saying? Like, he
Right.
jumped over he jumped
That
off
was
the
a good
boat.
beat.
So now so I gotta the anger that I had, the disappointment that I had when he did that, made me say, oh no, we're
Yeah.
gonna make a remix way better. It's gonna be just me and TA.
Right.
But then, since like I said, I was in this platform, we talked about it. I'm willing to bring them on along with us. I'm saying it and put
Is it a
is
new
it
a new verse, or you just
no,
taking?
I think he's gonna just pick one verse that he had from the old one. I don't know what
Should
it
get
is.
a
He should
yeah.
surprise us. He should do like
Oh,
extra
yeah,
shit.
a whole
He
new
should go extra
yeah,
crazy with it because the energy of this
yeah,
beat is crazy. So I think he should do that. I mean, tell him to do that. But he said he's gonna record it, so I'm waiting on his verse.
no.
So
And the video?
we taking it step by step. You know what I'm saying? Now it's on Cuban's hands. I have to do the remix and all this shit.
Yeah.
All the weight Lord had on him. Like he gotta pay for the video. He gotta fly people out. I'm over here like, don't expect me to fly none of y'all niggas out. Y'all niggas better do it through your own little energy. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna make it together. We all put the same energy into it, and we'll show the world about this shit. You know.
Plus, they can
And
record. They can record their part wherever they're at. They don't have to. You know what I'm saying? And then just
I
send
don't
it
know.
to
We
you.
gotta do it
Put it all
together.
together.
No, we gotta do it together. Fuck that. We gotta be
Yeah, you
there
can do it
physically
that way.
together, doing everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta do that's like the new age shit when you do things like I want to go back to the old school since we're dealing with Lord. When we all together sharing that energy and making the song better than you know what I'm saying, and
Okay.
the energy gotta be right. You know.
Right.
So
Okay. Hey,
that's how
I can salute that.
it's been a pleasure. Off the Books podcast, my motherfucking man, you my my half a half right now on this project. So yeah, another one bites the dust with this one.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. Salute.